Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It is the 5th of June and it's a bank holiday here in Denmark. It's our Constitution Day, so I'm doing this from the home office. We'll start as usual. No, not as usual. There's no single stock today, but we'll start with S&P500. Didn't really do much. Still the same picture really. Top and reversal pattern in bearish engulfing here needs to be taken out. It is still in play. And indicating top and reversal, market is still staying up a little bit. So let's see what will happen here over the next couple of days. Will it be cancelled? Then it needs to close above 5,342. Nasdaq 100, same picture, not much to do. Also has this top and reversal pattern. But it bounced off the 38.2 retracement. I think we'll see a little bit of range trading here in the next couple of days, possibly trying to push a little higher. And I can say that Apple and Nvidia are still looking fairly strong, whereas the other ones are struggling a little bit. So maybe that is what holding the market in this sideways range at the moment. There are some divergences between the various big names. We have stocks, EUROSTOXX 50 trading a little bit higher today after sell-off yesterday, where it almost reached the 786 retracement. We are in a short-term corrective downtrend. It is not a confirmed downtrend yet. We still have the RSI showing positive sentiment. It hasn't broken below 40, bouncing off a couple of times. So let's see if we can bounce further the next couple of days, but it looks fairly heavy, and we're going to see we are below the 55 moving average, which indicate we're a little bit in an underlying bearish sentiment and trend, as you can see, lower lows and lower highs here. So we are in a corrective phase. If it takes out at the 5,040 level here, the little peak here from a couple of days ago, well then we could have another push towards the previous peaks. DAX also bouncing off 38.2 retracement once again this morning, and well, we have this divergence which we talked about the past few days on the RSI, indicating we should see a larger correction, but it's still holding on nicely and we're still above 55 moving average. So we are still in an uptrend. Well, you can see very short term we have a minor corrective downtrend here, so keep an eye on that. If it takes out the lows here from yesterday, well then we have a push down to 18,110 level. On the AX, bouncing a little bit today. We see it's just trading around here at 907. It actually dipped below 900, but it did close back above, just with a euro cent and a change. But we are in a corrective phase, it seems, with this bearish candle. It weighs a little heavy on it. Negative sentiment is there not, but we do have RSI divergence indicating this. We are in an exhausted mode, and we should see a little bit larger correction at least, but it hasn't just materialized. But as you can see, a little bit weak. If it takes out the 919, well then we'll look at 930. CAC 40 tested yesterday 7,940 key support, as you can see here, bouncing a little bit. If it takes that down, which I believe it will, since the RSI is telling me that we are in a negative sentiment, and we have a negative trend, bearish trend, we could see a sell-off down to around 7,800. It really needs to take out 8,150 level to reverse that. What is strong is the Swiss market that is making a new high today. 12,151 is the next target, but we could see a push up to 12,250 area in coming days if it can hold on. There's no divergence on the RSI indicating we are likely to see high levels. Euro dollar lost a little bit steam after breaking above the 108.85, and now it's trading back below. It is a little. It's like it can't really make up its mind. We could see it sliding back low a little bit towards 108.50 possibly before I think we'll have another push higher. I mean, the trend is up. It is confirmed. There is a minor divergence here on the RSI. You can see this value here is lower than this one over here, so that it is a little bit fragile, this uptrend here, but it is confirmed with higher highs and higher lows. So we should move higher, but it is really struggling. But there's no strong resistance until around 109.80. The cable also after closing above 128, sliding back, and I think we'll have another go. There's minor divergence here. This value here is lower than this one, but we are in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. There is potential up to just around 129, but it will be a struggle, so be careful when you're trading. Suddenly it can, as we saw here yesterday, slide back below. So it is maybe in an exhaustive mode at the moment, and I will be fairly cautious what to do. It's not a clear picture too, and that's what it is sometimes, not a clear picture. We have dollar yen that bounced off its 55 moving average almost. Didn't come all the way down to 61.8 and didn't even test the 153.60 support before. Very strong bounce this in early trading this morning. If we're moving back above the cloud, closing back the cloud, well, maybe that was the correction. It is a little bit unusual to see only a 50% correction, as you can see here this morning in FX market, but it does occur. So let's see if it takes out that and closing higher today above the cloud. I think we will see a push higher towards previous higher close, at least, maybe not a new higher high. The RSI has been and still continues to indicate we are likely to see a higher close. So be aware of that. If we get the RSI back above 60 also, then we are likely to see a push towards and higher than 158. Euro-yen dipped just below the 38.2 retracement and below the 169 support, and now it's back above. If it does close back above today, well, then maybe that was a little bit of a false start to a correction, but we are having divergence indicating likely lower lows, and I do believe we'll see that in the coming weeks. It's just maybe just about timing. If it takes out the 170 spot 90, well, then we are looking at newer highs. Aussie yen bounced off its 102.80 support and the 38.2 retracement, and I think we'll need a breakout at that level, 102.80, a close below, or above 104.90 for direction. I think we will trade sideways here for a few days at least. Sterling yen bounced off the 38.2 retracement, 197.21, and could also be caught range bound, but there is divergence. We are in an exhaustive mode for sterling yen right there. If it takes out the lows yesterday at the 197 level, well, then we are likely to see a sell-off down to the 61.8 at 195. Aussie dollar, not really much to say, just humming away sideways here. Can't make its mind up, but we are in an uptrend. There's no divergence. We should see Aussie dollar pushing higher, but for now, wait and see until it actually takes out these peaks here at 67.15. Dollar Canada, same picture, but there should be some announcement out. I don't know if it's Bank of Canada later today. And again, 135.90 and 137.45 to the upside are the boundaries to be observed. EURUSD went straight through the 97.25, founding support at 96.75 support, and bouncing. I think it can bounce a little bit further, but we have turned the tide a little bit. We have a negative sentiment. If we see a break, and not even a close now, but a break below yesterday's lows, well, then we could see a sell-off down to around 96, 95, 50, but I'm not quite sure that will happen. I think we will slowly start bouncing higher, and if we get back above the 97.25, then we could fall towards 98 and then be range bound in this area for quite some time, still above the cloud, so that's a little bit of comfort if you're long Euro Swiss. Dollar Swiss 88.80, and this support here bounced off it. negative sentiment indicating we could see a break lower, but wait for it to break lower. There's some strong support here. I think we'll bounce a little bit, trying to get back into the cloud, and now we have some resistance at 90. Finally, the dollar index that broke below 140.26, trying to get back up, struggling a little bit. If it can get back up into the cloud, well, then we can see it's trying to crawl back towards the 105, but I don't think it will reach it. We are in a negative sentiment. We are in a negative trend, a bearish trend. Key support 103.68 could be tested. Moving on to gold, that once again spiked down to the 786 retracement at 23.14, and is now again hovering around this 26, 27 level. Can't really make its mind up. It's not really pushing through either way. I would say forget about this one for now. I would put this one here. So a break below or a break above 23.65, that is the range to look out for. Maybe you can do some options on that. I don't know. I'm not going to make an advice on options. Kuhn is the man for that. Please follow him. He's a very skilled, very talented guy. So if it breaks out to the downside, well, then we'll look at 22.17. A breakout to the upside, well, then uptrend is resuming, likely resuming towards previous peaks. Silver, quite heavy at the moment, and he's usually the front runner here, at least lately. So maybe that is still warning that the dollar could the gold could break lower. Again, there's downside potential to at least 28.50 after this double top scenario that is confirmed. However, we are still in a positive sentiment on the RSI, but I think we will see it sliding lower next couple of days. I think it will be fairly limited. I don't think we'll drop down to or below 28 before we are bouncing back. Platinum, which we've talked about past few days, actually now below 1,000, just went straight through 1,000 after breaking the 10.15, and now there's a potential down to the 61.8 retracement around 974.5 in the next couple of days. But still, keep an eye on RSI, still in a positive sentiment. If it does not close below 40, well, we could see a bounce in the platinum, and if it moves back above 1,015, well, then maybe it can get its mojo back together and push higher. The RSI is telling us that is in the cards at least, but let's see. Copper very close to the 450, 446 support area. If it takes out 446, well, then there's further downside, but I think we'll see a bounce here. And also RSI is still in a positive sentiment, but if it does close below 40, then it could weigh really heavy on copper, and it could dip lower. So really fairly weak at the moment. What is also weak is the oil prices. Here we have the WTI trading around the previous spike downs here, the little bit of support here around 72.40. It's a bank holiday, sorry. 72.40 level, but I think we could see a sell-off down to around 70 level before I think we'll see a strong bounce, but keep an eye on this level there. Brent crude oil, more or less the same picture really, trading around these lows here back from February, but the downside potential to around 76. Finally, on the US 10-year Treasury yields, that actually went through the 786 retracement at 437 and is now testing or bouncing off at the 430 level. If we do get a break below that, well, then suddenly we have a complete different scenario. Then we're looking at 420 again, but I think we will see it bouncing from current level. If we just very quickly is looking at the actual future, well, it actually did break higher here, but let's see if it can hold up. But it's telling us that we could possibly test it for 20 on the yields, but give it a couple of days before I'm certain. But the RSI is back above 60 threshold, but also here it was back below 40, and that didn't really materialize. So very uncertainties here. I think we'll slide back a little bit towards the 109.8 level on the future. That's all for today. Have a nice day and have a